If you're sick and tired of spending money on Facebook ads and losing it and not knowing where you guys are losing that money, then this video is for you. What's going on, guys? Yash here. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is absolutely having a great day. You know what, guys? Comment below where you guys are from. I really want to know, when you're watching this, is it afternoon? Is it day? Is it night? Is it evening? So comment below. I want to know where you guys are from. I myself am from New York City. So, guys, today we're going to be talking about, or I'm going to be giving you guys, I should say, 4 tips to save money on Facebook ads, for your guys' e-commerce dropshipping businesses. Facebook ads are my bread and butter. So, I'm going to be giving you some tips, whether you guys are just starting out or whether you guys are already utilizing Facebook ads, spending money, not really seeing that return. Where can you really, improve your framework or your strategies? And, it's okay sometimes to take that step back, to take 10 steps forward instead of just losing money and not noticing, where you're losing that money and why you're losing that money specifically. So, especially if you guys have a lower budget, somewhere from like 100 or 50 or like $1,000, I would say in between, then this video is definitely for you. Even if you guys have a little bit of a higher budget, definitely stick around because a lot of people, can eat a lot of their ad budget up and not knowing where that money is going. So these 4 tips are absolutely valuable. I will be also giving you guys a bonus tip, so definitely stick around till the end of the video. And guys, I would really appreciate if you guys can drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel and turn on your post notification bells. It would mean the world to me. So guys, let's go into it. I'm going to exit out of right here. And let's cover the first tip, guys. Okay. So first and foremost, what I really recommend is start out by testing a little bit less aggressively and less in volume. What I mean by this is, start by maybe testing out 5 assets in your campaign instead of 10 to 15. Obviously, 10 to 15 is what I recommend, but if you're on a little bit of a lower budget, start by only testing 5 assets. When you're initially testing, you don't want to blow your money right away. Slow, especially if you have a lower budget from anywhere from like 100 or 1,000 or $1,500, especially. Okay, because when you're scaling, or if you get into the position to scale, you're going to need to increase that budget and you're going to need cash flow. Cash flow is very important, and it hinders a lot of people from scaling a lot of times because they're already starting out with only what's in their savings account and they don't have that cash flow coming in. Okay, so obviously lower your overall budget as well. CBO is something that's going to be mandatory, campaign budget optimization. You can definitely check out my last video. I will leave a link right there so you can check out that video, what CBO is. But maybe set your campaign budget level to like 25 or $50. That's basically, $5 or $10 an ad set. That's not too much hypothetically, because obviously CBO, Facebook decides how much the campaign will basically spend on each different ad set. But overall, guys, start out by testing a little bit less in volume in terms of number of ad sets and also budget as well. Obviously, the more aggressively you spend, meaning the higher amount you start spending from the get-go, the better, because Facebook's algorithm takes that into consideration. But obviously, if you have a lower budget, you have to kind of play by the rules a little bit, which is not a bad thing. I know a lot of people who started out like this, also kind of got a lot of traction, especially because, they were patient with it. So, those 2 tips definitely implement when you're first starting out. Our second tip right here, guys, is I apologize, guys. My mouse is just a little bit glitchy today. So if you're not making any sales despite the following, you have a good ad creative, okay? Meaning, you have good ad text, you have good ad copy, meaning, the thumbnail, the picture, or the videos, whatever you're using. You have a good offer in place, you have efficiently set up your targeting and, your initial launch. Despite of that, if you're not making any sales, then guys, you have to move on from that product, okay? There's no point of being emotionally attached to that product. With this game, you kind of have to be like a robot. You have to kind of adhere to the KPIs and the metrics and what really Facebook is telling you. Okay, so don't be stubborn, but also at the same time, go ahead and see where your missing leaks are. Maybe it's not on the Facebook front end side of things. Maybe it's your landing page. Maybe it's your responsiveness of your website. Maybe it's just your overall speed. These first three things are the biggest reasons, guys. Your website has to be optimized and it has to be up to par. You have to have it that micro branded feel for customers to ensure that they feel trustworthy and confident. Okay, so check that. Check your overall funnel. Make sure there's not a lot of pop-ups. Make sure there's not a lot of distractions. Go through the funnel yourself like you're a potential customer. Maybe have pre-checkout upsells, have abandoned cart email sequences. I use Klaviyo for that. That's an app through Shopify. Have SMS Bump, which is another app through Shopify, which involves SMS marketing to, really, really increase their recovery rate, that back end. So a lot of the times, guys, it's your website, and a lot of people only get carried away with the marketing and the advertising of things, and they keep spending their budget. They keep pushing the product like, no, tomorrow's going to be a better day. Tomorrow's going to be a better day. But they end up wasting their entire ad spend, which is not good. So again, like I said in the beginning, take a step back to take 10 steps forward. There is nothing wrong with that. People say, oh, don't get too caught up in your website, but especially when you're dealing with the lower budget and you don't want that money to go to waste, you have to be efficient, you have to be minute, you have to be detail oriented, right? That's how I am till this day. You have to make sure you have the proper framework and you have the proper course of action in terms of everything being congruent, especially, okay? So again, don't be stubborn, don't be emotional, don't hang on to that product, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you're going back and you're kind of cross-referencing, you're cross-validating, and you're really making sure that there are no missing leaks in your guys's overall website or whatever it may be, back end side of things. And third, guys, do not get attached to a product. Like I said before, if no purchases are within 48 to 72 hours, kill that product, move on, find another one. There's hundreds and thousands of products out there. So this point right here kind of goes on to this one, okay? Obviously, you're going to kill that product, assuming everything else is in place. Most likely, it's either maybe you're targeting, maybe you're not just doing enough extensive research in terms of who your ideal buyer is, or that product is just not selling, guys. In that case, again, move on. Don't be emotionally attached. You got to be like a robot, and you got to be stubborn in terms of adhering to the KPIs, okay? But you can't be stubborn in terms of keep burning your ad spend or keep spending money every single day just hoping you're going to get a sale or two the next day. And number 4 right here, guys, I also kind of revealed that at the same time, since this kind of went with my second point. Avoiding ad and audience fatigue. What you want to do is you want to switch up your videos as your CPMs, your cost per 1,000 impressions start to increase, and your CTRs, your click-through rates, start to decrease. Okay, this is basically your reach, and this is basically how many people are clicking on your ad, your percentage. So maybe you have to switch your thumbnail, maybe you have to switch your video. A lot of the time when you have reached a certain pocket of audience, people start to notice that this ad is just getting shown over and over and over and over again, okay? Especially when you're retargeting or remarketing, you should be definitely switching up your creatives. Very, very important, okay? Because you want to change that offer up with the creative as well, meaning the actual ad text. Or sometimes it's just the video itself and people will engage with it better, or people will react to it better, because it's something that the audience has not already seen from your store. And the bonus tip, guys, what the bonus tip is if your campaign is breaking even or is profitable, I definitely recommend running a campaign until you reach its break even point, usually. But what you want to do is you want to run a post engagement campaign or a PPE campaign alongside to reduce those CPMs, okay? If your campaign or if your ad itself has more engagement, more comments, more shares, more likes, whatever, just engagement in general, your engagement will basically, obviously be higher, but your CPMs, your cost per 1,000 impressions, will be lower as well because Facebook will now basically be showing your ad to a higher quality of people. Right? That traffic level will change, and your ad will be shown to a more, you know, more likely to convert audience. More likely to purchase audience. So that's something you can do. Run along a PPE campaign alongside a campaign. Sometimes, obviously alongside your conversion campaign, because sometimes that campaign will not be doing so well. It will die out, but you can always run a PPE campaign to kind of bring that lifestyle or kind of that bring that life cycle back up for the actual ad you guys are running. So guys, these are 4 tips, 5 tips, including the bonus tip that you guys can implement and you guys can really make sure beforehand and during, before you end up spending all of your budget on Facebook ads. Okay, so be wise, work around your budget and see what really is the best fit for you and really do your due diligence and really be patient, guys. Okay, don't obviously marketing and advertising is more than 50% of your guys' store. That's the main bread and butter, what's going to bring you guys money, and that's your main goal. But at the end of the day, guys, you have to be patient. You have to go step by step and really know not only the hows, but also the whys as well. Okay, so that's why it's really important sometimes to think logically, especially when it comes to your budget, because you guys will quickly become dry. And I've experienced that when I was first starting out, so I don't want that to happen to you guys. And last but not least, guys, definitely check out my Facebook group, Ecom Masterminds. I will be leaving a link to the group in the description below with all of my other social media accounts. If you also want to hop on a one-on-one growth call with myself, I will leave a link to that in the description below. It's a great chance for you and I to talk one-on-one, share each other's screens, and really dive in deeper in terms of where your weaknesses and where your pain points really are in your guys' e-commerce dropshipping businesses. So check all that good stuff out in the description along with other resources. And of course, if you guys have any questions, any comments, any thoughts, do let me know. Comment below. I know this video was very short, but it's a lot of, these are things that a lot of people overlook or neglect, especially when they're first starting out because they're so excited to make sales. So be smart, be wise, practice these tips and implement them if they do apply to you, obviously. Now we'll check you guys out soon. Peace.